Morning, folks. Today I'm going to talk about the dirty stuff toilet. The thing that first comes to your mind when you hear the word toilet is a dirty place with bad smell, where we don't want to stay a second longer than we need to be. And I'm talking about this. In Japan, there is a god for toilet called Kawawa Kami. Kami means natural forces, and Kawawa, I don't know. There's no more natural force than when you get the urge, you have to run. Nothing like when nature calls you. We call this number two, we call this poop, crap, shit. As a gastroenterologist, I can describe shit in more ways than Bristol can describe Bristol's stool chart. The ideal good poop will be soft, smooth, and snaky. But sometimes it can be like porridge, sometimes it can be explosion, sometimes it is a struggle to push out, and all that bad stuff. So, my job, my professional job as a consultant gastroenterologist, revolves around this thing. I need to make sure you eat well from the one end, and the other end you poop out. Now, let's go back to the original issue of this toilet. So Kawawa Kami is a god of toilet, and in Japan, it's a Japanese Shinto tradition that we clean your toilet daily. Even Honda, Kawasaki, I hear that they used to, or they still, I don't know that they're alive, I think they're dead. They used to clean their toilet themselves. They were like super millionaires, but they still did it because they think a clean toilet is not only hygienic and healthy, it brings money. Now you're thinking, oh, money, yes, let's do it. Now, how to get rid of the smell in the toilet? Because the body will ferment food, and fermentation causes smell depending on the kind of food and the time it is fermenting. The smell can be just poopy smell or a really bad obnoxious smell. That is revolting, and you don't want to go to a toilet which smells not nice, and you don't want to leave the toilet and the next person coming in say, oh, who was here? Unfortunately, some of the toilets you have got exhaust, but ideally it should be open air. So in India, when we were little, there was no mosquito repellents, so we used to do this, and that's what I'm going to show you. We used to burn some stuff. Really, the smell is the same stuff that we do for puja. It's called flower pot, sambrani in the South Indian language, and it says aroma that blends into your lifestyle, and I'll show you what will happen. And this is camphor. So I love camphor. The smell of camphor is very refreshing, and it is the only chemical, yeah, which evaporates without being liquid. So from solid without liquid straight into disappearance. So that's why when somebody does a disappearance act, we said, Kire, koppurer moto ube geli. Ube jawa mane disappearing. Koppur is camphor. This is it. And sometime I will just light up these incense sticks rather than spray with artificial chemicals. These are also chemicals. Maybe you tell this is artificial, but this is way more organic. So let me light it up. So these lighters, they can direct jet. Can you see? And if you want to light this baby up, oh, that sounds very bad. So this will have smoke, and when you get it out, that's when the magic happens. That smoke is actually a good smoke. And now you normally leave it inside that because it will turn into ashes. But the focus is here today. So once you know that the camphor has ignited the sambrani, then you can blow it out. But why bother? So this is quite tiny and quite mild. So this is my go-to. So whenever I wake up in the morning, I'll do this. And then I will enter in a nice toilet. And I do that after cooking some Indian food as well. It's quite smelly, as you know, particularly if you cook fish. a biryani. Now, this is only once a week. This is more of a Saturday or Sunday ritual to me. So now let's blow it up. Now it should. Can you see? Compared to this is way more voluminous, and this you don't have to do every day. But I love the smell. That brings back a lot of childhood memories that my mother used to do puja, like a worship. And the smell, it just purifies my soul. So that's all about our dirty place. In fact, a lot of my reflections happen here. A lot of discoveries, Dr. Ghosh's crazy idea, whatever you want to call it. My father used to solve mathematical problems sitting. He was a professor of mathematics, and I'm a doctor, so I solve medical problem. Sometimes you go home with a question in your mind about a patient's troubling symptoms, and then suddenly it clicks. I say, yes, that's it. That's what I'm going to do. So there's this patient who's been suffering for 20 years, a young patient, and our older patients are suffering from 40 years with bowel problem. And he sent me an audio saying thank you, and he has given me permission to share that audio. He was actually suffering from a condition called bile acid diarrhea, BAD, B-A-D. Some call it BAM, bile acid malabsorption. He had multiple colonoscopies and biopsies and stool tests and blood tests and scans and whatnot. But nobody thought about what else can it be. Always believe your patient, they are suffering. And don't tell them that your colonoscopy is normal, go home, it's all in your head, or it's IBS. If you tell this is IBS, at least give that person some steps so that they can feel that they are controlling it rather than the IBS controlling their life. Think about it. You will only understand when you suffer from it, or somebody close to you will suffer from it, or you are a professional doctor like me. Anyway, happy toilet. It's smelly, but really nice smell.